Okay, so tomorrow not only kicking off the start of February, but also Heart Month.
In tonight's special report, we have got a heartfelt story for you. Our Sylvia Perez with the story of just how lucky one man is to be alive today.
It's the most wonderful time.
The holidays are the time of year that's usually known as the season for miracles. But if you ask Stephen Malik, it's really Halloween.
Halloween has always been near my birthday. It is a big deal to me, and this year turning 70 was a little bit more of a big deal than normal.
Stephen turned 70 years old on October 27th. The Detroit area man celebrated by driving to Highland Park to be with his oldest son and his family for both his birthday and Halloween. When it came time to go trick-or-treating,
I was feeling fine when I offered to stay back. It's, like I said, no more than, well, if we all leave, who's going to give out candy at the house?
But Stephen's son Jeff and his family wouldn't hear of it.
I was carrying the baby, having a good time. It was a normal, joyous Halloween trick-or-treating night.
And then suddenly it wasn't.
My son has told me this has been a life-changing event for him. I'm totally oblivious to what he's speaking of because I don't remember or experienced a thing until I woke up 2 days later in the hospital surrounded by my family.
All of a sudden, a friend of mine started screaming, "Jeff, your dad, he's down, he fell." I was at the next house. I ran as fast as I could, and my wife and my mom were there kind of pulling my dad off of a bush. So I just started screaming, somebody call 911.
Jeff says that's one thing he remembers from the CPR training he received when his son was born 8 years ago.
At that point, there was a million people calling 911 because you can imagine there was hundreds of kids and families all around, very busy neighborhood.
Jeff's dad had collapsed onto a bush in front of a home near the intersection of Cherokee and Indian Tree. Once Jeff got him down on the sidewalk, he says the homeowner ran out and began doing CPR.
From there, just a miracle happened, which is 2 nurses showed up. I have very vivid memories of them just taking their jackets off and just going right on his chest.
Ashley Kelly and Claire Farron are both nurses at Highland Park Hospital. They live nearby and heard the calls for help from neighbors.
I ran up, and right as I was running up, I saw Ashley running forward saying, "Get Claire," and I could tell by the look on her face that something really serious was going on. And
I jumped on the chest, started doing compressions. Shortly after, Claire showed up, and we just kind of tag-teamed compressions and tried to support the man's airway until paramedics arrived.
Kelly says it was a traumatic scene, and not just for the patient and his family.
Our community experienced a 4th of July parade a few years ago with a lot of sirens and activity that was very scary and traumatic to children, so a lot of kids were really scared. It was triggering with all the alarms and sirens going off.
At that point, our very good friend, Dr. David Davidson, a cardiologist, showed up. And so at this point, there was 2 nurses and David, on top of my dad. And
turns out Jeff and Dr. Davidson are close friends, if not best friends.
And I jumped in line behind them and started checking a pulse and kind of helped out after that.
He did that while still dressed in his Mickey Mouse Halloween costume. As the paramedics hooked the patient up to heart monitors, that's when Dr. Davidson saw Stephen was in VFib.
VFib is hard. I mean, you're trying to die at that point. It's very hard to get them back to normal. Ventricular fibrillation is where the bottom chamber of the heart stops beating and it just starts quivering. And that's the main pumping chamber. So if it's not beating, you're not getting blood anywhere in your body.
Dr. Davidson says they had to shock Stephen a total of 5 times while trying to stabilize him before paramedics could transport him to Highland Park Hospital. That's because he went into VFib twice, something Davidson says is not uncommon.
The ambulance, closed the doors, and I immediately started calling the ER.
Dr. Jonathan Rosenberg took that call and was ready and waiting for Stephen when he arrived at the ER.
At the time, he was unresponsive. He had a pulse, and we were concerned that he had had a heart attack that caused his cardiac arrest.
Dr. Rosenberg went on to do a coronary angiogram and found one of Stephen's arteries was 95% blocked. That night, he He put a stent in to open up the artery.
And then he had a very remarkable recovery over the next few days.
Stephen spent about 6 days in the ICU before driving 5 hours home to Michigan. He's continued to do well ever since. He even marks his recovery by taking a trip to the Rose Bowl with his sons and grandson.
People ask me how my dad is doing, and I say he is 100% fine.
Both know just how lucky they are because there happened to be a few bystanders nearby who knew CPR.
I do not believe he would be alive today if this didn't happen on Halloween, and that is because not enough people know how to give bystander CPR, including myself.
They are also so thankful for all that they did to save his life.
Thank God people knew what they were doing to break my ribs, to puncture my lung, to get to my heart. Thank you. I'm a lucky guy.
Sylvia Perez, Fox 32, Chicago.
If you are interested in learning CPR this Heart Month, Endeavor Health is holding a free bystander CPR training event this Saturday in Highland Park. For more information, go to our website, fox32chicago.com.